Story 1. I don't remember the last time I was genuinely happy. Life feels very dull. I'm 23, single, unemployed, friendless, and not in a good mental or physical state. I wish I could help myself, but I feel helpless. I'm waiting for something to change. If you are feeling overwhelmed, please consider reaching out to someone you trust or a mental health professional. Story 2. Hopeful, busy, fulfilled, loved, cared for, worried, needed, insecure, silly, sore, impatient, frustrated. Story 3. I spend about half my life in the bathroom because of lifelong complications after surviving colon cancer. I'm almost lethargic level exhausted all the time, regardless of whether I sleep 30 minutes or 10 hours. I have a post-treatment immunodeficiency and almost no lymphocytes, so I'm sick all the time because the kids keep bringing germs home. I hurt everywhere for no reason that anyone can diagnose or do anything about. My mental health is awful because I'm so tired of life in general. But I keep doing it because people need me and I have obligations, and I won't kill myself out of guilt. Every now and then I'm allowed to have a moderately normal day to enjoy, just often enough to keep the hamster wheel in my brain moving. Too long. Didn't read. 10 out of 10. Live laugh, love and all that. Story 4. Good. Someone in my direct messages requested rough sexual activity. Story 5. I feel disorganized and like a mess after my breakup. I keep blaming the breakup or that jerk for everything going wrong in my life. I think I need therapy. Story 6. Just woke up at 1:30 a.m., which is good because I need to get ready to go shopping in the morning. My body works like a train wreck in slow motion, so I might have enough time to prepare for a 30-minute excursion outside. I have at least 7 hours to get ready. People wonder why I don't go out much. Story 7. Bro, you don't want to know. Oh gee golly. Okay, but only because you asked. It's terrible. Story 8. I feel jittery. After 22 years of depression, I am finally undergoing transcranial magnetic stimulation. The success rate for complete remission of depression is very high. Even though I know it is likely to help me significantly, I am still anxious that I will complete the treatments and not feel any better. Story 9. It is annoying, stressful at times, and a little sad. Most of the time, if you do not think about it and distract yourself, you will feel neutral, as if nothing is happening. Story 10. I feel spoiled but very lonely and scared I'll end up alone or with someone who makes me feel alone. I'm looking forward to seeing my best friends on Thursday and again in December. I think about my grandpa getting old. I'll be devastated if I can no longer have conversations with him or my grandma. I miss strangers who made me feel like family, but with whom I didn't exchange contact information. I need to stop postponing my dentist appointment. I miss my 2 Bumble dates. I tend to self-sabotage. I love holding a small Coke and a warm bowl of soup in my hands. I really hope life works out for me. Story 11. Peaceful. My life has been set on fire multiple times this year. I'm not embarrassed or hurt by much anymore. Story 12. Detached is one way to describe it, I guess. I'm keeping to myself and keeping others at a distance. Everyone is just exhausting these days. Story 13. Humbling. Desperately trying to find something worth striving toward. Story 14. My industry is dying, and I have my 4th cancer surgery coming up. At the same time, I traveled the world this year, have a beautiful home and a great husband, and will likely survive my 3rd brush with cancer. I am exhausted from being ill. Story 15. I'm so bored that I turn to self-destruction and can't break the cycle. Story 16. My abdominal muscles are separating. Everything I eat makes me feel gross, and my legs and back hurt. I am chronically tired and do not want to move. Story 17. Age 44. Breast cancer and living my best damn life every day. There were many downs this year, but many more ups. Attitude of gratitude. Story 18. Pretty freaking great. I am 48, living alone with no children and no spouse. I go out to eat for every meal because I do not want to cook and clean after a 10-hour workday. I do what I want when I want. I am close to financial freedom. I owe less than $20,000 on my house. My 2024 model truck was bought with cash. Just last month, I decided to pick up a new hobby, jet ski fishing, and it has been great so far. Life is great. Story 19. Honestly, it feels like trying to keep a bunch of tabs open in my head at once and hoping that none of them will crash. Story 20. I am doing pretty well. I love my wife and our 3 boys. I do not hate my job. I have fun hobbies, good friends, and my parents are still alive and visiting. I cannot complain. Story 21. Great. A good job, a good house, and a good wife. The fridge is stocked with food. The freezer is filled with vegetables and meat. Many packs of tobacco. Story 22. Pretty awesome. I sometimes feel bad for people who are not like me, though. Story 23. Pretty goddamn awful. Thanks for mentioning. Health issues, dental problems, relationship trouble, financial worries, work stress, kids already struggling in school both academically and with bullies, and undiagnosed mental health issues for all of us. Big check. Thinking about it, my life is a much bigger mess than I realized. Well, time to doom scroll social media and stay up late so I can do it all over again tomorrow while tired. Story 24. Come and see for yourself. I promise you'll love it too. Story 25. I hate waiting. I have imposter syndrome. I am loving and kind. I keep myself pretty busy to avoid idleness. I am a goofball. Story 26. I feel better than ever before. The long period of anxiety and depression has given way to something that feels more like cruising altitude. I will never take this feeling for granted. It is not something I thought I would ever reach. I did not think I would make it this far. Story 27. I am currently fighting a horrible mental battle that has been getting worse over the past few weeks, and I have no one to discuss it with. Even if I did, I would probably keep it to myself because I do not want to burden others. I am experiencing high stress, anxiety, depression, an inability to relax, and a conflicting desire to connect with people, while also wanting to withdraw because I feel like a burden. Otherwise, I am okay. I am slowly losing weight on purpose. I live in my own apartment, which has a fruit fly problem and spiders that bite. I have money for food, but I follow a very strict diet. I have a car that recently needed expensive repairs. I have a job, although I do not have much in common with my coworkers and some of them are jerks. Fun times. Story 28. Try being in jail or a mental ward while your mom is in charge. Just had an attempt. Story 29. I'm always tired. My wife and I have 2 toddlers but no family nearby to help. I accidentally made myself indispensable at work, and I'm busier than I'd like. My son is in a Mandarin immersion program, so I'm trying to learn Mandarin too. It's extremely hard. Story 30. I keep making the wrong decisions. I am ruining everything around me. I feel like a tornado. I think I have lost myself. Story 31. I am so proud of how far I have come in trauma therapy. I still struggle with panic, anxiety, somatic symptoms, and anger, which may seem like overreacting to some but are triggers for me. That is difficult and hard to control. Story 32. Maswert pa rin pero malungkot. Hindi pa nga umabot ng 1 buwan mula ng graduasyon. Nakakuha na agad ako ng trabaho. Mababa ang sweldo pero okay lang dahil nagsisimula pa lang ako. Sa isang punto, malungkot ako dahil pakiramdam ko ay pasan-pasan ko ang mundo. Story 33. Overworked corporate employee. Never-ending bills. Very thin. Single not by choice. No savings. Very lonely. Story 34. I am stressed and in constant aches and pains. So much is happening and failing at once, and there is so little care or compassion. The feeling of emptiness and detachment is so prevalent that I do not even feel real anymore. Story 35. It has been 2 years since my divorce, and it is simultaneously the best and worst thing that has ever happened to me. Story 36. Things are rough. The apartment manager became ill and did not process my move-in paperwork. I have spent all my money on a motel for almost a week while we go back and forth on the remaining steps. Now I am broke and may have to sleep in my car with my cat. I have a promise of funds, but the processing is taking a long time. Only 2 more nights remain, and I am exhausted from spending all day in the car waiting in parking lots. I am hoping something comes through today. Story 37. I am still mentally goofy, but oh well. Most nights I spend either reading philosophy or writing dark fantasy. Anything to quell the goofiness, I suppose. Story 38. I have bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, and I have been experiencing severe migraines. It has been terrible, but I am becoming happier as the days go by. Trying new things brings me joy. Story 39. A browser with 47 tabs open, 3 frozen, and mystery music playing. Story 40. I have a lot of good and not so good external pressures at the moment. I'll get through it. Story 41. I'm bored. I'm currently waiting for paperwork to be processed so I can be discharged from the hospital. I just want to go home. Story 42. It is stressful. I am meeting with my uncle and aunt tomorrow to discuss arranging live-in care for my grandmother because her memory is declining. She is in her late 80s and lives alone. Story 43. I just got turned down for a job I was really hopeful about, so that is not ideal. Story 44. A little scary but mostly exciting. I am 27 years old, and 2 weeks ago I started the position I had been working toward for 5 years. And I already love it. To get the job, I had to switch companies. I had been with my previous employer for 5 years and I loved that team, but I wanted more for myself. The adjustment to a new company and team was daunting, but I am settling into the swing of things. Story 45. I am kind of in a state of limbo. I am on the younger side of people in my community. Many people are older and frequently dealing with life-threatening health issues. My father is 94 and I am dealing with that. It gives me a glimpse of my future, and I feel saddened. Story 46. I feel like I am stuck in limbo. I am just waiting for something, and I do not know what. Story 47. I am tired and anxious, but more fulfilled than ever. I am ricocheting between cautious optimism and cynicism. I am learning to prioritize my well-being and to limit my guilt about it. Story 48. I am sleepy but lying in a large, comfortable bed. Sleep will take me soon. Story 49. I'm just autopiloting through life. I have stopped trying to date because it feels like touching a hot stove repeatedly, hoping not to get burned. I'm only 30, but I feel like I've reached the end game and that this will be my life until I die. I'm also slowly losing interest in things I used to enjoy, like gaming. Story 50. This is physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausting. I would not recommend it to anyone. Story 51. It is definitely better than before. I am disabled, but I received effective treatment recently, and things have improved. Story 52. It is hard when it took me years to feel good in my body and be happy with myself, only for everything to be disrupted by sudden health issues. It was at the beginning of coronavirus disease 2019, and today, almost 6 years later, I still wonder if I can get better. Comparing my present self with my past self is not a good feeling. At least I still have hope for a better future. Let us not lose hope. Story 53. A mix of tired brain, hopeful heart, and way too much coffee. Story 54. I feel like I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end it didn't even matter. Story 55. Content, happy, grateful, and living in peace near the beach. Story 56. I am extremely exhausted. These last few days I have needed at least 12 to 13 hours of sleep to function, instead of my usual 9 to 10. I am not sick or anemic. I am just very tired. I have also been struggling mentally, so I don't know if that is exhausting me physically. Story 57. I am 18 and will enter college next year. I do not remember what I want. I have lost all motivation. I overthink my future so much that I sometimes forget to embrace the present. I am tired and I feel like I might die young, but at the same time I am trying my very best. Story 58. I want to quit my day job and start doing my dream job full-time. I was born and raised in this state, and I have more than run my course here. Moving anywhere would solve my problems. I am deeply hurt from middle and high school, so I unfollowed the majority of the people I went to school with and cut off communication. I cannot even talk about what happened 6 years ago because the last time I did, someone told me to find God, and I realized I cannot open up to anyone because everyone I know is useless. I do not have a car, so I cannot go anywhere without getting a ride. I am so over everything that I just want to move and start over where nobody knows me. The only reason I would come back to my home state is to visit my family. Story 59. It is like I am wrapped in a thick blanket. All sound is muffled, and I am unable to breathe. Story 60. Wonderful, healthy, wealthy, and grateful. For those of you who are younger, know that your 50s will be the best. Story 61. I am an ant on the ground, watching every caterpillar become a butterfly while I continue along a straight path to nowhere. I am a crumb of life weighing on my back, not floating above the flowers. Story 62. I feel like a juggler with too many explosive balls in the air. If I drop one, they might all explode. Story 63. It's a mixed bag. Some days I wake up and feel great and amazingly proud of myself. I go to work with a smile, stay active at the gym, and hang out with my friends doing our outdoor hobbies: fishing, mountain biking, hiking, surfing, and so on. I still strive for success and have ambitions like when I was a teenager who wanted to grow up and conquer the world. Then there are days I wake up with my hair a mess, feeling depressed and wondering what on earth I'm doing with my life. I vegetate on TikTok for several hours, then roll out of bed and grab some junk food to feel better. I might self-medicate with cannabis and just stay home doing almost nothing, with little moments of crying here and there. Other than that, life is pretty good. I'm happy to be me. Story 64. It is hard. I am in a transition period where I am setting new boundaries with my family. They are upset because I have been codependent and enabling toward them for a very long time. I feel a lot of guilt for things that are no longer my responsibility. This change was unexpected but long overdue. I am in therapy for this as well. I thought I could do this on my own, but I cannot. Story 65. Exhausting. Never-ending lists of things to do. I would prefer to double it and pass it to the next person. Story 66. I am signed off work because of stress. My antidepressant dosage was increased, and an anti-anxiety medication was prescribed. I am not doing well at the moment. Story 67. People judge me at work for my post-traumatic stress disorder and my tics. I also work extremely hard and keep things cleaner than other staff, yet I am judged for my tinnitus. I do not perform well socially, so I tend to keep to myself at work. Being me is mostly hell with occasional bright spots. When I come home, it is almost always bad news and trouble. I focus on enjoying the lesser suffering. I think that is true for many of us. What I like most about being me is that others who are struggling are drawn to me, and I can give them helpful answers. I do not mind the lack of help for myself, as long as I can help others. Story 68. It is 12:42 a.m. on a Tuesday, and I am on Reddit if that answers any questions. Story 69. I am at a point in my life where I must choose whether to accept a job in a distant location to earn money or continue looking for work near my city. My social energy is very low. I do not know who to talk to anymore, and I wonder whether people even care about me. I appreciate the few who still try to contact me, but I miss the times when I had so much going on. All I want now is to meet new people, learn new hobbies, and find direction in my life beyond work. Story 70. Boring, but in a good way. Peaceful. If I'm not at work, I'm reading on the porch, making delicious food, spending time with my partner, or walking the dog. Work is a whole other story, but it's my own fault. I wish I could chill out and care less. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.